Hello, my lovely kittens. It's Perry. And oh my god, I did not expect to reach this milestone on my channel. Over 300 subscribers? I'm still in disbelief. What is there for me to say except thank you? Thank you all, who not only took the time to hit the sub button, but actually wanted to. I wanted to do a Q&A for this, but I'm not getting any comments on the community post, so I thought I'd share all my characters instead. Each character I make, buy, or trade will forever be part of me, and therefore part of my personal universe. I haven't thought of a set story, but I know they canonically live in the same neighborhood. A suburban paradise, if you will. But before we get started, for the new viewers, if you like seeing my little cat face, then please subscribe. And if you actually like my videos, then a click on the like would be appreciated. Each like lets me know you guys still enjoy my content, even if it's with subpar editing software. And if you want to be notified when I release my monthly videos, then click the bell. Now, let's start with the obvious character, my mascot, Periwinkle, the Scottish Fold Munchkin. Yes, you heard that right. Perry's cat breed is a Scottish Fold Munchkin. I know, her ears aren't folded, but I just don't know how to draw them. But that is what she is. If you haven't seen my last video, I go in depth on how I created Perry and why she's my mascot. There really isn't anything I can say about her, and I know I'll end up saying too much if I get started. All that's really needed to be said about her is that she's the main character in my stories. Perry wasn't the first Sona I created though. I made her when I was 16, but I subconsciously made 2 other Sonas way before that time. I honestly can't remember which one I made first, but I'll start off with my second Sona in the lineup, Perry's best friend, Kiki Skunkcat. I first created Kiki when I was maybe 10 years old. In my last video, I also explained the start of my artistic journey around that age, where I would trace cartoon screenshots on printer paper and did recolors from that. Kiki was one of those recolors from Tiny Toon's Fifi LaFume. She was literally just Fifi, but pink and black. But now she has her own character, and I think I evolved her pretty well. The second of these recolored Sonas is one I made while tracing Minerva Mink from Animaniacs. I loved Minerva as a kid. She was beautiful, she was clever, she wasn't afraid of her own sexuality, which apparently is just too taboo for women. Double standard. But I did a recolor of her and created Florence Ferret. Doing research, ferrets are slightly longer and larger than minks, so that's kind of what I did. Florence has larger, assets than Minerva, but she's also taller, so it balances out. I need to draw her more. The fourth Sona in this line is my boy, Candy Bunny. I hate saying this, but I have no idea how or when I made him. I can't even find the first piece of him. But he is dear to me. My flamboyant femboy who just enjoys male attention but never really emotionally available. That's usually his character. He's young, let him live. My last Sona I actually bought off Facebook. She was so beautiful, I paid $50 up front for her and I regret nothing. I was just given the ref, but her name was all me. I wanted to create a Korean character. A lot of my characters stem from Northern Europe based on the names I give them. But I wanted to branch off into Asian culture as well. I already have a Japanese character, which I will get to him in a moment. But this beautiful bat I wanted to originate from South Korea. I like to study intensely on these names, so I named her Chai Jang-mi, which I hope roughly translates to Field of Roses. If I'm wrong, I would love for either native speakers of Korean, or if you're fluent to an extent, do tell me. Google can only take me so far, especially if I don't have a strong understanding of the language. That's all of my Sonas, now on to the characters. I'm going to try and make this as short as I can to avoid a part 2. Let's just see how it goes. And also, fair warning that some of these pieces were purchased years ago, and I sadly forgot the names of the original creators. Just know that most of these I did not make. I will let you guys know when is a character I designed, but for the most part, I bought or traded these designs. I'm gonna look down the line from the top of my toy house, meaning the first up is Mama Aloha. This chicken mama is the one neighbor that always has leftovers for you. Her 2 chicks are already grown and in college, so what else does she have time for? Being a mother to the rest of the neighbors, of course. She's the one Perry and pretty much everyone goes to with their dilemmas, and she is brutally honest. She tells you what you need to hear to fix the problem. I'm excited to draw her myself since in a previous video I discovered I actually like drawing birds. Next is Alba, naming him after the protagonist to the visual novel Dramatical Murder. I still don't have a story to tell for him just yet, but I want to make him a librarian. And no, he's not overly sensitive, he just has hyperactive tear ducts. Next is Ash. They are a fun one. Ash will not explain if it's short for Ashley or Ashton. They are a trans character, but they will not say from what and to what. They like the psychological confusion strangers will get trying to figure it out themselves. Ash works at the local supermarket with Sakura. They both hold horrible home lives, till Sakura finally had enough and she ran away from home, living on the streets. She was able to get a job at the market and she got close with Ash and they started living together at Ash's apartment. To the rest of the neighbors' knowledge, Sakura is the only one who knows Ash's true gender identity. Next, we got Babe and Nocta. These 2 horned fellas are the local mechanics who do their best and hold great pride in their craft. Because Nocta has wings, he's able to work on the larger vehicles, giving him more range, where Babe is chill working underneath them. They are a perfect team, and it's hard to believe that when they first started working together, they hated each other. Here we have Bao and Prism. Bao is the sweetest but slow older brother, and Prism is the highly intelligent little sister. Prism is usually seen trying to keep her brother out of trouble, which his naivety gets him into on the daily. Prism is soft-spoken, if she speaks at all, and Bao is just the sweetest thing. Also the best friend of Candy. Here we have Cherry and Sahara. Cherry is a waitress at one of the restaurants in town, struggling but not overly, trying to take care of a newborn calf where the father is nowhere to be found. I need to develop her character more as well, including the calf. But Sahara is her lifelong friend and babysits her little calf. Her main job, however, is that she's the owner and head manager at the local supermarket. This means that the calf has a little playpen in the manager's office, so he's always watched after. And as he gets older, he runs around the store, excited to see this curious world that is the store. Here we have CL. Yes, another thick femboy. Let me live my life. CL is a cat-fox hybrid who works as a bartender at the local gay bar that Candy goes to. CL sees straight through Candy's game and ignores his advances, making Candy want him even more. Maybe they even end up together? I'll let y'all know once I get that story actually going. Squiddo! She works at the beach as a lifeguard. Because she's half squid, she kinda needs to stay hydrated. So her station is in the water instead of on the beach like normal. This doesn't slow her down in the slightest, as she's the fastest swimmer in town. People thank her for her efforts by offering her fish as payment, and honestly, she's perfectly fine with that. She lives on the beach anyway, so she's just protecting the folks that she pretty much allows into her home. Honey here is my Chinese dragon. She's very soft-spoken. She's like the big sister of the town, always willing to lend a helping hand. I also need to flesh out her character more, huh? Here he is. Hoshi. This is my Japanese character. He gave off Harajuku vibes, so that's kind of the character he is. If you've seen Harajuku fashion or the city of Harajuku, then you pretty much know Hoshi as a character. He's bubbly, he's sweet, he's caring, he's loud, but he's also very polite. Kana was my first adoptable I ever purchased. She's a spotted hyena, which gave off major early Kesha vibes. She likes to party, she likes to drink, she likes to be the center of attention. Kellen and Salem are my gray boys. The band type as they rock out in Kellen's garage trying to make it big. There's really nothing else to say about them. Lilac and Zeke is another brother-sister duo. But the big difference is their larger age gap compared to Bao and Prism. Their parents disappeared when Lilac was an infant, so Zeke had to take over the father role as he was a senior in high school at the time. He managed to graduate, but he had to pick up an extra job just to make ends meet and keep his baby sister alive. Lilac sadly sees Zeke as her dad, but Zeke much prefers it that way, keeping Lilac from the truth and saving her more heartache. In his eyes, he lost both parents, but Lilac only lost her mother. The rest of the neighborhood knows the truth and respects Zeke's decision, seeing where his heart is at. Zeke now works full-time at the flower shop and does night shifts with Ash and Sakura, keeping Lilac in the playpen with Cherry's calf. Miss B is another character I need to flesh out more. I can say she works with Alba at the library, mostly as a children's entertainer. She wants to be a teacher, so she figured reading to the kids was a good start. Noka is my gym bro, but not overly filled with toxic masculinity. He's very respectful to women. But he still feels challenged by other men, trying to show off more. A friend of mine has a dear character we canonically ship together, the perfect couple, a bodybuilder and a heavy trans woman. Orange Cream and Velvet Berry are my horses. They have polarizing personalities, with Cream being more loud and outgoing and Velvet being more soft-spoken and introverted. Velvet has a thing for her lifelong friend, now co-owner, of their sweet shop. But Cream is usually too oblivious to Velvet's feelings. Cream sells her frozen yogurt, and Velvet sells her fruit tarts. Orochi is the mayor of this town. Mayor Orochi has been mayor for over 10 years, mostly because no one wants to run against him as he's made such great progress. He is a very humble man and always thanks his citizens for their hard work. Peach Cream is a mythical dog being. When she sees a problem, she seeks out the best neighbor for the job. Most of the time, she sought out Perry. No one can see or hear her, but they know when she's near if you smell the sweet smell of the peach fruit. Smelling the peaches lets the neighbor know someone needs help. It's usually hard to find where, so all the neighbor has to do is stay alert till they find the problem. In all reality, Peach should be the main character, huh? Pine and Pizzica have been high school sweethearts turned engaged. They are coaches for the local high school where Pine coaches the boys' soccer team and Pizzica the girls' team. They tend to butt heads a lot, but that's how they like it. They aren't angry or aggressive, they're just competitive. Their competitive nature is how they got together in the first place. It's how they show their love for each other, and as long as they're not hurting anyone. Oh, Scream and Howl. Scream is my Tasmanian devil, and Howl is another one of my bats. Not really much to say about them other than Scream is not attracted to men, so she tends to go to the same gay bar as Candy. She works for a clothing line in the same outlet as the supermarket with Ash and Sakura. Yes, she's a witch. Yes, she loves Halloween. And no, she does not like candy corn. And Howl is her best friend. Howl is as straight as can be, but respects Scream and sees her more as a sister anyway. Howl has a thing for Jang Mi, but he fears he wouldn't be her type. Upinde is my lioness. Because it's actually seen in nature for female lions to have manes, why not her? She dyes her coat to see her mane better and to properly style it. She works at the town salon. How else do you think she looks so good? Yamato is my mannequin. He works alongside Squiddo as he runs the fair on the docks. Every game, ride, and event he designs himself. But at least he isn't too prideful to do it all by himself. He sometimes asks Widow for her help after the beach is closed, but every time he does, he's beyond shy, comparing contrast to his rambunctious personality. Lastly is my Candy Gore character, Vince Teddy, a literal teddy bear. He was actually inspired by a pumpkin carving a friend did a few years back. His face is literally what she carved. I don't know how to implement him into my universe, but I had to add him in this video since I really do love him. As of right now, that's all the characters I have. I know good and well I'll have more, but as of right now, that's all my Toyhouse has to offer. I do hope you all enjoyed listening to my ramble. You will see small comic strip-like stories of these characters in the near future. But until then, I feel the need to add before I go that if you enjoy the art behind me, I am open for commission. Just send me an email or a message in any of my linked medias on my page and I'll send my prices your way. I hope all my kittens wake up every morning with fruit juice and sugar, and I hope to see you all next time.